Hello, friend, and welcome. I am life architect and minimalist coach Francesca Berry, and I'm so happy to have you here, the best place to be to create a home and a life that you love. Today, I want to talk about minimalism and plead the case for its necessity and power. Minimalism gets a bad rap. I say that, of course, because as a minimalist lifestyle coach and professional organizer, I've run into my fair share of naysayers. I've met, worked, and spoken with a lot of people who have plenty to say about what they think minimalism is. And often, when I tell them what it isn't, those same people change their tune. When I explain that on a very basic level, living a minimalist lifestyle is about keeping what brings you joy, what makes you happy, and all the things you need and use. It starts to make sense to them. It isn't, after all, about having nothing or spaces that are empty. Instead, it's about enoughness. Minimalism promotes having enough, but not so much that you can't move freely in your space or think clearly in your head. The case for a minimalist lifestyle that I so vehemently subscribe to is actually quite easy to understand. It is nothing more than deliberately keeping the thoughts, things, and people who add something positive to your life, period. When thought of like that, it starts to take on a different meaning. Now, deliberate, of course, is the operative word. Making deliberate choices and living intentionally is a necessity that's often overlooked. And it's a necessity because the only way to fill real human needs is to purposefully decide what you want in and for your life. Dr. Donella Meadows said this incredibly profound statement that sums up the imperativeness of minimalism as a way of living. She said, trying to fill real but non-material needs for identity, community, self-esteem, challenge, love, joy with material things is to set up an unquenchable appetite for false solutions to never satisfied longings. A society that allows itself to admit and articulate its non-material human needs and to find non-material ways to satisfy them would require much lower material and energy throughputs and would provide much higher levels of human fulfillment. Powerful, right? But there's a fear around doing this, fear of judgment and making mistakes. There's fear of letting go of not just physical stuff, but the limiting thought patterns that have become familiar. Familiarity can feel like love, but it isn't always the case. If you want to feel fulfilled at a higher level, you must stop trying to fill that need with physical things that can't do the job. The reality is, you're the architect of your life. You aren't necessarily taught that. And it could be hard to see what with all the information darting towards you constantly. It can be hard to decide and decipher, know and then let go of what doesn't make you feel happy and light and completely yourself. But you are the architect. You do have the power to choose what belongs in your life, in your space, in your head. And that is, in fact, where the case for minimalism becomes important and evident. It is where its imperative need in the world today shines. When you are courageous in the face of clutter and too much of any kind, and you let go, you free yourself and open yourself up to experience life on your terms. Living your life that way means you are open to happiness and joy. You're willing to grow and learn more about what else there is for you in your one wild, precious life. Thank you, Mary Oliver. The case for living a minimalist lifestyle is so much more than being able to breathe into your space and navigate it freely without clutter and confusion. It's more than what people assume it to be. Hear me on this. The case for minimalism is about finding yourself in the openness afforded when you let go of everything else that's holding you down. Minimalism is much more than having white walls, clear counters, and a plethora of seemingly wide open spaces. It's about living your life in a way that has meaning and creates impact for you and the world. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, there is always time to create it. Live it light and happy. And importantly, live it with the freedom to explore and experience all that it has to offer. I would love to hear from you. How does this case for minimalism sit with you? In what ways does it resonate? In what ways does it not? Tell me in the comments. And if you like what you saw here, please hit like to support me and my channel. And if you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss a single thing I post about how to let go, get organized, and live simply and well. I'd love to have you back. Until I see you again, remember, you are the architect of your life. You have the power to choose the contents, the thoughts, things, and people that will make it a life you love. See you soon.